Good evening, everyone. So far, we have a bit more than 70 participants. It's going up. Now we have 75. So we just wait 2 more minutes for other participants to enter, and then we will start the online course. Good evening, everyone. Well, the amount of participants is not really going up anymore. We have 80 participants now. So I suggest that we start. And first, I would like to give the word to Lena from Black Horse, just to explain how to find the videos.
Yeah, hello everybody. Nice to meet you. I'm just gonna share my screen to show you how it's done. So all of you should have gotten an invitation for Equestrian Hub. So to log in, all of you will see 2 different seminars. The EEF online judging seminar was for training, and today we will work with the seminar unit 3 and 4. So please log in. Here on the top right, there's a login button. And then on the left side in the menu, you will find the seminar. So please click on it and the following website will show up. Last week, you were judging the individual junior test and the pony tests. And today we will work with the pre-St. George and 2 children tests. So if you like to get to the judging, just click on the competition and the start list will show up. Let's say we want to work with rider number 1. Just click on it. And here, if you see, click here to open score sheet. You will see the complete score sheet, in this case for the individual competition test. You can scroll down from the top to the bottom and we'll see, let's see, 30 movements. You can enter your marks and comments in here just by clicking on it, enter a mark and add a comment. Just putting a random one in now. So it might be best if you have 2 devices. So one for judging, like I showed you before. And the second device you can use to open Equestrian Hub in there as well and have a look on the video. So if you want to see the video of rider number 1, like here, you will see the video icon here on the right. Just click on it and the video will show up. You have different options to minimize or maximize the video. Just gonna go to 2. And if you click on play, the video will play and you can look at it. And then you can use your other device, whatever you like, if you have a second tablet or something else to judge the videos, the test based on the videos. Any questions, Maarten?
Not from me, maybe from the participants. Are there questions after the explanation of Lena? I don't see any questions. Thank you, Lena. Then I suggest that we start. Last week we were running out of time, and we suggest that you would judge the second junior rider yourself. So we will now, you can look at your scores. We will look at your scores also, but we will follow the video, and then after before every exercise, we will see what the scores of the whole group are, and then we can discuss. We see the exercise, and then we will see the marks and the remarks. So maybe we can see what exercise 1, what the average of the group is, Lena.
Yeah, sure. Just a second.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good. Here we go. we have the overview. And this is exercise number 1.
Yeah.
The entry and the halt.
Yeah. So I cannot see the bottom of the screen, so I cannot see the numbers. I think the 23 are 6s, huh?
Exactly, 6.5.
Yeah, so 6 to 6.5. Most of you, some are a bit lower, some are a bit higher, but there are ones really high with an 8 and really low with the 1. But let's see the exercise. Now we go to the test.
Okay, yeah. Quickly opening up again.
No worries, no worries.
Individual competition. Right, 2.
Yeah. Yeah, here we can see there was a bit of a late turn, not really correct at A, a bit late. Also some tension in turn A.
Okay. Should we have a look on the next mark, or do you want me to let the video running?
So maybe it's better to see the exercise first.
Yeah.
Then we can have a look. I had a 6 for the first exercise because of some tension. Again, now we see tension at the turn at C. So I had a 6 for the whole halt and the. Now we first see also the collected trot on the short side. Because you also have that, you have to take that in account. Now you can stop the video. So again, I gave a 6 for the first halt because of the late turn, some tension in the turn at A, but you also, the halt, the transition to halt was quite nice, but you also the tension in the turn at C, so you have to take that into account, even when the halt is correct. I gave a 6 for the halt and the whole first exercise. And then the second exercise, we saw it. Then most of you gave a 7, some 6.5, some 7.5. So that's quite okay. It's really nice what you have done. I also gave a 7, and because it was nice medium trot, but I like the horse keep going in the medium trot till F. Maybe we can have a look again. Because she starts well, but then it's not. Oh, it's exercise 2. Let's see. Oh, that's a bit difficult. Now then we keep on shouldering. That's okay. This is shouldering. Yeah, now you can stop. Let's see the marks. Let's go to exercise 3, shoulder in. So this is, I cannot see the bottom, is a 6.5 and yeah, and 7, eh? Yeah. So 6.5 to 7, some a bit higher, some a bit lower. I was lower because the horse stayed quite straight. So it was not on 3 tracks, it was almost on 4 tracks. So for me, the angle was too sharp and I want more bending. This for me looked a bit like a leg yielding on the track. I want a bit more bending and less angle. Maybe we can see it again. That exercise. To go a bit back. Yeah. She's on more than 3 tracks. You can see that. The horse stays almost straight. So for me, with less angle and more bending, the mark can be higher. Now we see both half halters. can continue. And now you can stop the video. Now it's again what happened, what we discussed last week. No, 2 weeks ago in the first session. It's two half voltas. So EX half voltas, you touch X, and then you do the other volta. What this rider does again is almost like an S. Still the balance, the rhythm is really nice, but she stays quite long at the center line. It's not an S, it's 2 voltas. So it's really important that the riders are precise in the riding. So maybe we can have a look again. This is nice. Rhythm is good, impulsion is good, but now she really goes a few meters straight on the center line. That's not correct. Then it's almost an S. So let's see at the marks. Exercise number 4. Six, 5, 7. Yeah, I also have a 7, still a 7, but with the remark. Otherwise, you could have been 7, 5, or maybe 8. But because she stays too long straight on the center line, my mark goes a bit down. So you're really good at that one. Then we go to the half pass to the left. A G, touch the center line, and a track to the right at C. That's exercise number 5. We first have a look on the video. So indeed, I had a 7 for both half voltas, but it could have been higher if it was more precise riding. Now we go to exercise number, or maybe we can first have a look, Lena, on the video. Yeah, this is the half pass. Yeah, you can continue, And also the track is also in the exercise, the turn at C is also in the exercise. Yeah, and now you can stop. Let's see the marks. Exercise number 5. So a few have still high marks, a few have still 6, 5, 7. Most of you have 3 or 4. I have 4, not a 3, because you can still go lower, but he broke into canter. That's really easy. You can give a 3 also. I did give a 4 because he can also break twice into canter. She corrected it, and she still did a bit of half pass. If he stays in canter the whole half pass, then you go to 2 or 3. She did a few trot steps in half pass, so I did stick to the 4. Then we continue with exercise number 6 on the video. So the half circle right, and let the horse stretch on the long rein. And then also the collection again. And then between S and H, the retake of the reins. Good, now we can stop the video. There's one question. Please do not write your marks in the Q&A, only if you have questions. So you already did your protocol, so only if you have question, please ask. So let's see, we have 4, 5. Most of you have 5. Some are a bit higher, a bit lower. For me, it was totally not enough stretching. She tried, but the horse really needs to stretch. He really has to follow the hand. For me, that was not enough. He stayed too short in the neck. He was not stretching to the bit, stretching to the rider's hand. So for me, this was a 4, clear 4. Maybe we can see it again, because this is important. Yeah. She tries, the neck is a bit lower, but he stays so short, so tight in neck. The horse really has to stretch, and the nose has to be really in front of the vertical. He's not following the hand. So that's why you have to give a low mark. So we can continue exercise 7, the extended trot and the transitions. Oh no, the transition is a separate mark. Good, and then you also have to take into account this trot at the short side. Yeah, and now let's see the marks for exercise number 7. Let's see. Exercise 7, and then after we go to exercise 8, verse 7. So most of you have 6.5 to 7. I did give 6.5 because I think the horse is a bit stiff, not really supple and relaxed in the body. So I would write down more supple, more through the body. You can see it really clearly also because the tail of the horse is a bit swishing. He's not really supple. And then for me, the transitions can also be more clear. You really want, if they enter the diagonal transition into the medium, in the extended trot, and you really want to see a collection back. So for me, let's see exercise 8. So I gave 6.5, more supple, more through the body. And let's see exercise 8, what the scores are.
Yeah,
we saw the video already, yeah. We saw the video already, it's just the exercise. Extended trot, and then 8. The transitions, 2 extended trot and back. 6.5, from 6 to 7. Now I'm in the middle, I did give 6.5, and I would write down something like more clear transitions or more defined. On my protocol, it's more defined. Then we go to exercise 9, shoulder in left. We have a look at the video. Good, let's have a look at the marks. Most are 6 to 7. I have for the shoulder in all a 6.5, so also in the middle. You see again, it was quite a bit of angle, but you also want more collection. He was leaning a bit on the hand, and you also want more bending and a bit more steady contact. So then we go to half vaulters again. Yeah, you can continue. Yeah, let's see the scores. It's number 10. The vaulters. So most of you have 6.5 to 7. I have 6.5 because you can have a look later on the second vaulter. He's losing a bit of rhythm, so that's why I have 6.5. Some steps he's losing a bit of rhythm. You can have a look after. Then we also look to the half pass after. So again, the vaulters. Can we go back to the vaulters and then we do the half pass? Then you can keep it going. Yeah, bit back. Thank you, Lena. Yeah. Here the rhythm is correct. And now he's losing a few steps. You see it also in the head. He's losing the rhythm 2-3 steps. So then that's why I went lower. Now we have the half pass. Good. And now we stop the video. Let's see to 11, exercise 11. So most of you have 7, some 6.5. I also have a 7 for that half pass, so you're doing really well. And my remark would be more parallel at start. You could take the hind legs a bit more. You could be more parallel in the start of the half pass. Now we look to the video, and then we look at 2. We let it go, 3 marks. So the first, the transition into walk here, that's here. Then we have a half pirouette to the left. You give a mark for the half pirouette, for the second half pirouette. No, 1 half pirouette, sorry, and the collected walk. It's not 2 half pirouettes. one walk pirouette, and then after you give a mark for the collected walk, separate mark. Here you have the walk pirouette to the left. So there's a mark for that. And a mark for the whole walk, except for in the, now you can stop the video, except for in the walk pirouette. Let's see the marks 12 and 13, exercise 12 and 13. Most of you have 6, some of you 5, 5, 5. I had 5, 5. Because I like the walk in the pirouette. So it's not just in the walk pirouette. He could be more active and more clear in rhythm. We can have a look later, and then let's see to exercise 13. Most of you have 6, some have 5, 5, and 6. This is good to have a look at, because I am lower in this one, because I have a 5 for that collected walk. You can be more clear in rhythm. Look at the shape, the V shape. The hind legs have almost to touch the front legs before they leave. So you see a V at the left side and the right side. But you also have to look at the hind legs, and then this horse can be more even behind. So maybe we can have a look at the walk pirouette and the walk again. But it's a different, you score the walk with the walk before and after the pirouette. Yeah. Look at the hind legs also. If you're really critical, now it's not a V to the right and to the left. It's not clear in the rhythm, and you can also see that the right hind leg, it's a bit shorter than left. He could be more even behind, and it has to do with tension also. You can be more through the body. Here in the pirouette, you can be more active. Now you can see it again. So you can stop the video here. There's short, long steps. Yeah, some of you already made that command. You can see, you have to be careful with wide legs, because sometimes it's kind of an optical illusion. But if you see where the front legs are going and the hind legs and the footprints, you can compare, and then you can see that the horse quite often is not even behind in the hind legs. So that's why you go to a 5. We don't go to a 4. If you go to a 4, then the horse really has to be lateral, and he's not totally lateral. So he has some not so nice steps, so we stick with the 5. Then we go to the video again. You go to the extended walk. Now he's more clear. Hind legs are almost touching the front legs before the front legs leaves the floor, the ground. So now he's clear in rhythm. But you want more supple over the back, more stretching and bigger steps, more ground cover. You can stop the video. Let's see the scores for 14, exercise 14. Yeah, most of you have 6. Some are a bit higher, a bit lower. So most of the group is around 5, 5 to 6, 5. So really well done, group. So more ground cover, more stretching to the pit. A bit the same that we had with the stretching in the trot, but a clear walk, clear rhythm. Then with a clear walk, clear rhythm, you still can give a 6. For a higher mark, he needs to be more supple over the back, and you want more ground cover. So now we go to exercise 15. We judge the collected walk, the half pirouette to the right, and then the transition into canter. 3 marks. Good. Let's go. You can stop the video. Let's see the marks, and then we look after. We look those 3 marks after in the video. But first we look at your marks. So first we have exercise 15, collected walk. Collected walk. From 6 to 7, I have a 6. It's more clear now, but still I want more collection. He's a bit free, and I want the horse more active. Let's see exercise 16, the walk pirouette itself. Between 5 and 7, so there we have quite a difference. Most of you have 6. 5-5 to 6-5. I have a 5-5, again because of the rhythm. If you remember the training scale, the fundament of the training scale is the rhythm, a clear rhythm. Now he really is losing the rhythm, not totally, so that's why I still give 5-5. I want him more active and more clear in the rhythm. It's not that bad, because otherwise you go to 5 or lower. And then we have a transition into collected canter. Let's see that mark.
We will get there at some point.
Exercise 17. Good, most of you have 7. Some of you have 6-5 and 7-5. I was a bit more strict because I thought he could a bit more direct, more prompt into canter. It was kind of a long transition. So we have a look back at the collected walk, the walk pirouette, and the transition into canter. Yeah, that's it. So this is the collected walk. The horse going to be a bit more active and a bit more collection. He is quite free for a collected walk. I know why she's doing it. And now you can see that he is not active enough. He's slow and he loses the rhythm when he's going out. And you can see kind of a hesitation. You can stop the video here. Kind of hesitation in the first canter stride. That's why I wrote down more direct transition. That's why I give 6-5 and not a 7. Because it could have been more direct, more fluent. We go to exercise 18. We watch the half pass to the right at X straight on the center line, and at I a flying change of leg and the track to the left. So we watch both exercises. And now the flying change. And the track to the left. Good, now you can stop the video. Let's see the scores of 18 and 19. So most of you between 6-5 and 7-5, most of you have 7. I'm a bit higher here. I did give 7-5 because I like the fact that from the beginning of the half was till the end, the bending and the way how he was crossing and how he was parallel really stayed the same. Sometimes you can see difference in bending at the end or the beginning. This horse really stayed the same, and he had nice jump. So I gave 7-5 for that half pass. And then let's see 19, the scores for that flying change. From 6 to 7, most of you, I was a bit lower with the 6 because for me, the horse did flying change itself before the rider did give the 8. So we can go back to the half pass, the quite nice half pass, and then look at her 8 and the reaction of the horse. We go back a bit to the half pass. Yeah, that's it. She starts quite nice with the bending. And he's parallel enough, and now he stays always the same. Always the same. Nice jump, and he's uphill. The neck is the high, the pole is the highest point. And now the horse is, she is not giving the 8, and already the horse is changing. It's still a correct change. He's not laid behind, but I did give 6 with the remark before the 8. Now we go to the medium canter. You can let it go, Lena. Medium canter. Then just only a few meters counter canter. And then the flying change. Now the counter canter and the flying change. Yeah, you can stop the video. Let's see the scores for the medium canter, the counter canter, and the flying change. So 20, 21, and 22. First go to 20. 20, exercise 20, medium canter. So most of you have 7 for the medium canter. I also had 7. He was quite active. He was covering ground. Again, this horse could be more supple over the back. That's my remark. More supple over the back. He needs a bit more suppleness, but still correct and active. So 7. So we go to counter canter 21. Six, 5. Most of you, some 7, some 6s, so all around 6, 5. I also gave 6, 5. He had nice jump, active in the counter canter, but he could be more straight. So you really have to write down on the protocol more straight. And then we go to the flying change, exercise 22. Six, 6, 5, and 7. I gave 6. He was really off the ground, nice jump, but for a higher mark, the flying change needs to be more straight. So maybe we can go back to the medium canter, the counter canter, and the flying change. Yeah. So correct medium canter. He's lengthening the stride, he's active. You can see the tail is a bit swishing, he can be more supple over the back. But still a 7. Now you can see he can be more straight. He's a bit bent to the left. And then the flying change could be more straight. Can you stop it a second? Good. So now we go to the half vaulter right. At D, a simple change of leg, and then they have to do between 3 or 5 clear walk steps, and the other half vaulter left. So let's see. Good. Let's see the scores. Exercise 23.
The internet is not that great in Germany.
Okay. We are just being patient, no worries.
Okay.
23. Most of you have 6, 5. From 6 to 7, most of you have 6, 5. I have only 6, not higher, because the transitions from canter to walk and from walk to canter are quite nice. But he can, of course, he can be a bit more straight. He's a bit crooked. For a real high mark, the horse has to be more straight. But the most important thing in this exercise, she has nice transitions. He can be more straight. But now look again and then count the steps, the walk steps. It needs to be 3 to 5 clear walk steps. So even if the quality of the transition is quite high, let's see it again. the simple change of leg. And now count the walk steps. The transition itself is quite nice from canter to walk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Between 7 or 8 steps, the maximum is 5. So I was not higher than the 6 because it's too many walk steps. So that's clear, you have to be clear on that. Then we go to the half pass. Let's see the movie first. Yeah, you can continue with the movie. Half pass and then the flying change after on the center line at I. Yeah. Nice silhouette, full highest point, nice canter. And flying change. Good, let's see your scores. Exercise 24 and 25. So most of you have 6.5, from 6 to 7. The half pass, I still have 7 because the canter itself is nice, the start is nice, only at the end. So that's why most of you are quite low, I think. He is getting the hind legs in at the center line, so the hind legs out. They're going to the left. So the end, I have on my protocol more straight out. But still, the start till the end is quite nice. So I still have 7. If you are more strict on that, you can give 6.5. For a 6, it's quite low because it's only the last step when the hind legs are stepping out. And then let's see the fine change. The scores. Good, 6.65. 1.7. I have a 6. Most of you have a 6 because it's quite off the ground. It's a nice flying change, but there is some tension, and he is crooked. He's totally not straight. So that's why you have to write down crooked or more straight on your protocol. Now we continue with the extended canter at the video, and then a few meters counter canter and the flying change, and then we can continue to the halt. Because then we almost, so here the extended canter, collection back to collected canter, counter canter for a few meters, then the flying change, and then the turn at A and the transition into halt. Good. Let's see your marks, 26. Exercise 26. Most of you have 7 and 7.5. I have 7.5 because it has really nice ground cover. It's active. It really has big strides. For an 8, it can be more supple over the back, but still it's active and it's really covering ground. So I give that 7.5. Then we go to the counter canter. Counter canter, most of you have 6, 6.5, and 7. Now we really have to look at that because I give 5. And almost all of you are higher, but you have to have a look at that. And I wrote down not enough meters because maybe you can see your scores at the flying change. Let's see. No, we first look at the exercise. We look after Lena. First the marks for the flying change. Exercise 28.
Yeah.
No worries. It's not responding at this. Most of you have 6, 6, 5, and 7. I have again a 5, so we will have to look. Some of you have 5, 5. That is quite correct. And then we look at the halt. So I have again a 5, and I will tell you with the video why. The halt and the salute. Good, that's a 7. Mostly, I also have a 7. It could be a bit more straight before the halt, but the halt itself is correct. And then we also go to the general impression. So that's exercise 30, I think. And we did all the marks. 30, general impression. There it is, 6, 5 to 7. I also have 6, 5. And I did write down for the general impression, it's a talented horse, work on more suppleness over the back, more rhythm in the walk, and more precise riding. A pity of some mistakes today. So we go back to the extended canter, the counter canter, and the flying change, because especially the counter canter and the flying change, you were all higher. But let's have a look. The horse changes too early, so it's a low mark for the flying change because it's really too early before K. But then also there are not enough meters counter canter. You escape the degree of difficulty. Have a look. Now watch at K, letter K. That's and now she's at K. We can look again. So it's several strides too early. So the extended canter is 7.5, quite nice. Would even be more supple. Let's have a look. Now it's the flying change. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 strides after the. You can stop the video. 4 strides after her flying change, and then she is at the marker. Then she is at the letter K. So it's a 5 because the change is too early, but also a 5 for the counter canter because it's not enough meters. She is escaping the degree of difficulty because she only did a few strides counter canter, and she really has to do more counter canter. So that's why I'm really lower with those marks. Too early, but really look where she does the flying change. It has to be on the marker. So thank you very much for this. Then we go to another test. Work well that you did it already before. We go to a children test.
Yes, and just for explanation, so all of you will have an individual number on here. So please look for the FEI children team test in your name. It should be one rider.
Yeah.
And it should be the score sheet.
So we will do around 5 exercises, and then at a logical place in the test, I will ask Elena to stop, and then you can fill in your marks, yeah? So after around 5 exercises, we will stop. So we will have a look. It's the children team test. Yeah, you can open it. So exercise number 1 is enter in working trot. It's children class between 12 and 14. No collection, no collector trot, only working trot. Halt at X. And then you give the mark for this halt. Because XC after the halt, that's in a separate exercise. That's exercise 2. Now we go to exercise 3, track to the right, medium trot, and back to working trot. And the transitions, you can continue the transitions. And then she does a half halter and leg yielding. Good. Then ES work. Now you can stop the video. Yeah. So give your marks for exercise 1 till 5. I will give you some time for that. Good. Then we continue with the video. She has to do half circle and give and retake the reins for 3 or 4 steps. Yeah. The half faulter. And again, leg yielding. FD here, half faulter, and now the leg yielding. And after the working trot, that's exercise 7. Exercise 8 is medium walk, transition to medium walk, and the half circle. So also the quality of the medium walk in the half circle. Now she has to turn on the haunches, so it can be bigger, and she is not collecting. So it's not like in the junior test, it's not a walk pirouette. We call it turn on the haunches, so it's bigger and not in collected walk, it's in medium walk. And then the medium walk from after till the letter H, that's exercise 10. Yeah, and now you can stop the video. Now you can have the mark 6 till 10. Oh, there's one, maybe Lena, you can answer that question. Someone, Thomas said, my score sheet starts at position and seat, but those are the quality marks, not the technical marks. So then you
Exactly.
have to click the other team test. Huh?
Exactly. You have to look for the FEI children team test and not the quality test, please.
Yeah. And then if you miss the scores till now, that's not a problem. Leave them just empty, and then you can continue after with exercise 11. The video stops, yeah, that's correct. We really wanted to give you time to give the mark 6 till 10. Yeah. And then we will continue. Maybe you can go back a bit, Lena. Then is the transition from medium walk into canter. That's exercise 11. Then the medium canter after. So in trot is working trot, but in canter we go to back from medium canter to collected canter. So here is collection, not in the trot, but it is in the canter. Now she has to transition back to collected canter. The transitions is a mark. And the collected canter at short side, that's 13. This is the loop. She touches X, she stays in counter canter in the loop. And then at the short side till R, the collected canter. You also have to give there a mark. Then on the short diagonal, a simple change of leg through walk. Again, 3 to 5 walk steps. And then on the short side, the canter again. So you also take that into account. And now you can stop the video. So now you have time to fill in exercise 11 till 15. Good. Then we go after. She does a loop again. That's exercise 16. She does a loop and then the turn at X in counter canter. She touches X. There it is. Then the collected canter at the short side MCH. Then a simple change again. Through walk, 3 to 5 walk steps. Good, and then a transition at P to working trot. And a transition to the halt and the halt itself. Good, the halt. And now I give you some time and you don't write a general impression. You don't give a mark, and I will explain later why. You can stop the video, and now you can fill in the mark 16 till 19. Good. Then I will explain a bit more about the children category. The second evening, we had the ponies and the juniors. And the ponies are till 16. Then you have the children category from 12 to 14. And then it's judged in a different way because you judge it with 3 judges. Now we saw the video from C, where the president of the grand jury is, and we did judge the technical marks, so the technical execution of the test we give marks for. But there are also always 2 judges at the long side, E or B, and they are sitting and judging together, and they give marks for the quality of the riding because they are still really young kids, and we really think it's really important that they have a nice seat, they learn to ride in the correct way, they give small aids, and they can score really high marks for the quality. So after we discuss the technical marks, we will judge this test in one way again, and then I will ask you to give just 4 marks for the quality, but I will explain later. So first we will evaluate the technical execution. Thomas says I will have to watch again to be able to judge this test. That's not a problem, Thomas. We do the exercises first, and then we do the whole test again in one time. First, we go to exercise 1 and 2. We do it together. So let's see. We do 1, 2, 3, and 4 together. So the entry and halt. Most of you have 7. Some have 6, 5. Some have 7, 5. I have 6, 5. I'm a bit lower because the halt was a bit wide behind. The right hind leg was a bit out, and the horse could be more square. The transition itself was nice, but you can see in the video, halt wide behind, the right hind leg is a bit out. And we can see the second part from halt. So it's exercise number 2, from halt to the working trot, and from 7, 7, 5 to 8. You're all quite high. It was really correct. I also have a head of 8. And then the track to the right, exercise number 3. And the medium trot. 7, 7, 5, 8. Now you're really doing well. I also have a 8 correct rhythm and a really nice active hind leg. Let's see exercise 4 for the transitions. 7, 7, 5, 8, 6, 5, 6, 5 for me is a bit too low. because it had a good definition. Remember, this was medium trot, so it's not extended trot. And she really had nice transitions, definitions towards the medium trot and back with good balance and really fluent. Then we go to the half vault and the leg yielding. Let's see the mark. Most of you have 7 or a bit lower or a bit higher. I also have 7. So the rhythm for me is correct. The horse is nice, relaxed, it's good rhythm, nice steady contact, but I'm not higher than a 7 because the whole horse is almost has too much flexion to the right, so too much bending. You don't need that in leg yielding. So now we go back to the first 5 exercises in the test. So we can let the video continue and I will give my scores just from the beginning. So here you can see nice entrance, totally nice at 8, at A, nice straight on at the center line. Now you can see the halt and you want him a bit more square, and there you can see that the right hind leg is a bit out. He's quite wide behind. Now it's difficult to see because there's a cover for the marks. So that was a 6-5 for me because that wide and that hind leg out. This is really correct, super correct, really nice turn. So that's a 8. Then the medium trot itself, correct rhythm, nice active hind leg, good over tracking. So that's an 8 for the medium trot. Transitions fluent and well defined. 8 for that transitions towards a medium trot and back. Now you can see the leg yielding, really correct, nice balance, but almost too much flexion. That's why I'm not higher than a 7. So 8, 8, 8, and then a 7. Now we stop the video. Now we have a look on the scores again. First we look to the half circle and give and retake the reins for 3 to 4 steps. From 6 to 7-5, I am quite higher, but I can understand because we had the discussion last week and of the last time and the time before. She is not really cheating because you can see that she gives the reins and there's a loose of contact and the horse really stays in the same frame and in the same silhouette. The only remark you can make that the hands of the rider are a bit too high. So that I did write down on the protocol. Then let's see the half vault and the leg yielding, number 7. 7 to 7-5, yeah. The first leg yielding, you remember I gave 7. This one was for me a bit better, but still a bit too much flexion, but less than the other one. So the first one I gave 7, this one I gave 7-5 for the leg yielding. Then let's see the score for medium walk. That's exercise number 8. You're all high from 7 to 8, so that's really good. I also give an 8. I think it's a good rhythm. The horse is really relaxed and the contact is nice and steady. Then we go to the turn on the haunches. Remember, there is no, we go first to the mark, turn on the haunches in medium walk. So no collection to collected walk. And it can be bigger than a walk pirouette. That's why it's not called a walk pirouette, but turn on the haunches. 7, 7, 5 to 8. I have 8. So remember, it's allowed to make it bigger. It's not a walk pirouette. Then we go to medium walk. Medium walk itself, exercise 10. Good, all of you have a 7, between 6-5 and 7-5. I have a 7-5, good rhythm, but the horse can be a bit more active. So most of you have 7 to 7-5. I have 7-5. So now we go back to exercise 6. So give and retake the reins, and then we follow from 6 to 10. And we don't have to stop the video. She releases the contact and the horse stays in the same frame, same silhouette. The hands of the rider are a bit too high. Now you see does the half vaulter from F to D. So she doesn't have to go into the corner at 8. at A. And now she does the leg yielding, not so easy because she comes from the right, and then you have the leg yielding to the left. Now you can see the flexion is again quite big, but not so much as it was in the other one. So I have said 7.5 for the leg yielding, the medium walk, the transition to medium walk, and the medium walk. And now you can see it's really clear in the rhythm. So the hind leg is almost drifting away. The front leg, good rhythm, good relaxation, and a nice soft contact. So I have 8. Then we go to the turn on the haunches. Look if the rhythm stays correct. You see the rhythm really stays nice. He's not losing the rhythm. He has a good bending and he's really correct. So I have 8 for that turn on the haunches, and then the medium walk. And then we stop the video. Medium walk, good rhythm, can be a bit more active. Then we go to your marks for the transition into working canter. That's 11. Most of you have a 7. I also have a 7. For me, it's a bit of an early transition, and the canter can be a bit more uphill with more impulse. We will watch later on. Then the marks for the medium canter, exercise number 12. Most of you have 7. I also have 7. Nice length in frame, but also could be a bit more straight. So that's why I'm not higher than the 7, because of the straightness. Then we go to the transitions from into medium canter and back to collected canter, exercise 13. Yeah, from 6.5 to 7.5, I have 7.5. The transition back can be a bit more defined, but still it's really smooth and fluent. Then we go to exercise 14, the loop, and then she has the counter canter at X. It's number 14. 7 to 8, 7, 7, 5 to 8. I have 8, really good rhythm, good balance, and nice relaxation. And then we go to the simple change of leg from 6 to 7. I have still a 7, but I can imagine it's better to have a 6.5 than a 7.5. She has, again, too many walk steps, and he needs to be more direct into walk. That's not why it's not a real high mark. Then let's have a look at those ones. We start at the video at the transition in, pardon, excuse me, to working canter. Can you go back a bit? Then you can see that the transition is a bit early. It's not totally, he's a bit early, not totally at age. That's why you see, can you stop the video a second? That's why there is always, it's in the FEI rules, in the dressage rules. You have to have the tape, the black tape on the fence, so that you don't have to look at the marker. Sometimes the letter is a bit far away from the fence, and maybe you can go back now, and then you can see where the tape on the fence is. Then you can see that this transition is quite early. Look at the tape, you see? She's 2 meters too early. So that's why it's not an 8, but still a 7. Then we go to the medium canter. Really nice length in frame, but look at the end. The hind leg is a bit coming in, so he can be more straight. But it's nice ground cover and fluid transition. So that for me is 7. Transition 7.5. The last transition can be a bit more defined. Then we have the loop. He has to stay the same rhythm, a bit bending to the outside because it's counter canter at X. She really maintains the rhythm, the balance, and the relaxation. So 8. And then we go to the simple change of leg on the short diagonal. Transition into, that can be a bit more direct. The quality of the walk is nice, relaxed, and really good rhythm, but too many walk steps, so not higher than 7, so 6.5 to 7. Yeah, and then we stop the video. Then we can have a look at your marks 16 till 19. So 16 is the other loop. Let's see what you have. So 7, 5, 8, some of you have 7. I have 8 because it's really fluent, it's smooth, with a very good rhythm and a good balance in the loop with the counter-canter. Then we go to to the simple change of leg again via a walk. 6, 5 to 7, some 7, 5s. I have still 7, 5. More direct into walk, but now it was the correct amount of walk steps. But still, for 8, the transition into walk can be a bit more direct. But the walk itself, it's so nice, relaxed, and in so good rhythm, you don't see that often. So that's why I still have a 7. And then the transition to working trot. And the working trot at the short side. Most of you have 7, 5 to 8. I have 8, 5 even, because it really is a nice transition to working trot, and it really has good balance and nice rhythm also at the short side. And then we go at exercise 19, the transition into halt, and the halt itself on the center line. Good. Most of you have 7, 5 or 7. I have 8 because the transition is really nice. And then you don't give a mark for general impression because the quality marks are given by the 2 judges at the long side. Still, you can write down some comments. I did write down very well written, good balance, good rhythm, and nice relaxation. Really nice, steady and soft contact, and an harmonious test. We go back in the movie at the loop, the second loop. Let's see. After the first simple change of leg, this is the loop. Yeah, there it is. He has to bend a bit to the outside because it's counter-contradicts. Really good rhythm, good relaxation, good balance. So that's an 8 for me. Then we go to the other simple change. Now it was a correct amount of steps, but he could be a bit more direct into walk. But the walk itself is high, it's relaxed, you see. The transition into was not so nice, but the walk itself is really good, so can be still a 7, 7, 5. And then the transition to working trot, that's really nice. Look at the balance, look at the rhythm. So for me, this is 8, 5. And then a transition to the halt. Nice straight. The camera is not totally at sea. It's between the 2 judges. Still a bit wide behind, but really square. Really correct transition into it. So for me, it's 8 for the transition. Are there questions about this children technical marks? Because now I will explain. Because we will watch the whole test without stopping. Now, the same rider, because now we give marks. We did give marks, the technical marks. Now I will ask you to give the quality marks. So you have to click. Maybe you can explain later, Lena. But it's important to know that now you have. We judge the same rider, and it's high quality. What we saw. So you give only 4 marks. That's what you will do. So you give 1 mark for, you follow the whole test. 1 mark you give for the rider's position and seat. So you look at the seat, if the seat is well balanced, if it's elastic, in the middle of the saddle, if the rider is really absorbing the movements of the horse, if it's correct position of the upper body, the arm, the elbow, the hand, the leg, and the heel. That's all in the rider's position and seat. So you watch the whole test, then you give a mark for the position and seat. Then the effectiveness of the aids. Is the influence of the aids of the rider on presentation of the horse? According to the scale of training, is it influence of the aids, correct presentation of the movements and the paces, the 3 paces of the horse? Are the aids of the rider sensitive and small enough? And the independence of the rider's seats. Can they give a leg or something to do with your hand and not the whole body is moving? Then the precision. Precision is the accuracy of the execution of the figures. Is it precise riding? is the execution of movements at markers prescribed, and the maintenance of correct tempo. And also, of course, is everything well prepared. And then the general impression, also marked for that, the harmony of the presentation of the test, correctness of the 3 paces, and the ability to present the horse favorably. So do we have a nice, happy athlete in the arena? Is there harmony in the test? So we will have a look at this rider that we judged now, and be sure with quality marks, when the riding is really good, you really can go high with your marks, because we want to give the message when it's good, you can really go high with your marks. So now we watch that video of the last rider again, and then after the test, you have time to fill in the marks and maybe your sum of comments, but it's the marks are the most important. And can you tell which protocol they have to click, Lena?
Yes, of course. So please open the seminar again here on the left in the menu. You will see all 5 tests. Please choose the children quality test. And now 2 riders will show up. Please choose the first one, the American one, and click here to open score sheet. Will show up the score sheet Maarten just explained. And if you open up the video, you should see the same video again as we have been seen before. So please make sure to choose rider 1.
Choose rider 1. You only have 4 marks to give. So we don't stop the video. Enjoy the nice harmonious test, and you give the marks just after the test. And your remarks you can give during the test. Good luck. So it's totally about the quality marks, about the way of riding, the position and seat, effectiveness of the aids, the precision, and the general impression. So don't look at all the different technical exercises. It's about the general impression. Good. Now you saw this really nice test. So you can give 4 marks, 1 for rider's position and seat, 1 for the effectiveness of the aids, 1 for precision, and 1 for general impression. So go ahead, you can give 4 marks. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say, now you can give decimals behind the point. So you can give 9.5 or 8.5 or 8.2, 8.3, you can differ in that. If you have a big class with children riders, what happens often in North of Western Europe, so then you can make a difference. Then you think it's just above 8, you can give 8.2 or 8.3, or you think it's just below 8, you can give 7.8 or 7.9. So you don't have to stick with the whole point or the half point, behind the comma. There's one question. I have to look at it. Maybe you can look it up while the participants are giving the 4 marks. There's one question. What was the technical score for rider 1? I think it was 75 something, I remember, or even higher. Can you see that, Lena?
Mm-hmm.
The total score for the technical score for rider 1, for the rider that we saw now.
In real life or based on your judging?
Based on my judging, but it's not a big difference with real life, I think.
Mm-hmm. 75.6.
Yeah. So Malgorzata is 75.6. I thought it was around 75. So that's a really high score. Good. I think you had time enough to give the 4 marks. Let's see your marks. Can we go to position and seat? That's quite a big difference. We go from 6 to almost a 10. That's nice to discuss. Most of you have 8 or 8.5. Some of you have 9. But this is not so easy because normally you all score the technical exercises and you are getting more close to me and more close to each other compared to the beginning a few weeks ago. So you're all really improving. But this is a bit more difficult to judge, and you don't know where the criteria really are. So you have to gain experience in this. But here we saw a really top rider with a top seat. My commands were very correct position and seat, good position of legs, hands, and heels, and very nice following the movements of the horse. And my mark was 9.5 for the position and seat. So if you don't have 8 or higher, or maybe 8.5 or higher, then you are really too low. This was top class. The position and seat was really, so I gave 9.5. That's really high. And then we go to the effectiveness of the aids. Let's see the marks. So 8 and 8.5, most of you. Some are lower. I had a 9. And my commands were very small aids, where the horse immediately reacts in a very harmonious way, and very good riding according to the training skill. So you have to remember that the scores for the artistic part are really higher and differ often a lot. So many times you have 10% or even higher marks from the judges that are judging on the long side and look to the quality than the ones who are judging the technical parts and the technical marks from the short side. Then we go to precision. Let's see. Yeah, that's then everybody is a bit lower. Most of you are between 7.5 and 8.5. I did not give a 9 because I thought the writing was really good. All the transitions were very well prepared. Very good preparation of the exercise and transitions. But I went below 9 because till now I had 9.5 and 9. I give 8.9 because of the two simple changes of lag. The simple changes of lag, because there were too many walk steps and he could be a bit more direct in. But the rest of the test was really good tempo, good balance, good cadence. Still, I was not on 9, a bit below 9 on precision because of the too many steps in the simple changes. And then we go to general impression. Most of you have between 8 and 9, so you're doing really well. I had 9, and I wrote down good cadence trot and canter, very correct rhythm in walk, a very harmonious ride with very steady and soft contact. So now again, the best mark for me was the rider's position and seat. So correct, so nice following the movement, so solid and soft riding. So 9.5 for the seat and 9 for the effectiveness of the aids. Below 9, the precision because of the simple changes, 8.9, and a 9 for general impression. Those marks are really high. To be honest, you don't see it that often, but this rider that we saw, Viviane Merker, was the gold winning rider, the European Championships of last year. So this is really top, top, top what you saw here. And then the marks really have to go high. Now I want you to watch at another rider. We don't do the technical marks, so we still do the 4 marks, the quality marks. So you watch the test, write down what you think. There's quite a big difference from the first rider in quality-wise than this rider. So think what you see and give 4 marks at the end of the test. So we will have a look at this rider only for the 4 quality marks. So don't put your glasses on judging all the exercises. No, put your glasses on to judge the rider's position and seats, the aids of the rider, the precision, and the general impression. So let's have a look at the next children test. Quite a big difference with the European champion.
Yes, so please open up the children quality sheets again and choose rider number 2.
So put your glasses on for the quality of the riding, and not for the exercises. Not so much the exercises you put down in precision or effectiveness. Good, that was the last halt. So now I give you some time to fill in the 4 marks for this rider. The 4 quality marks. Good, there are some questions. Is it correct to give 1 mark or even 2 marks higher in the collective mark than she has in the test? Yeah, that's still possible, but it's really about the writing. And if there are many mistakes in the test, then the position can still be quite correct, but then the position of the upper body, but then effectiveness of the aids is not so correct anymore if you make many mistakes in the technical exercises. Also, if you make mistakes, the precision mark has to be lower. So it has really a relation with correct seat and also correct riding. So we go to the 4 marks. Let's see. First, position and seat. Between 6.5 and 7, most of you. I have 6.5. And my remarks are correct position. Her position is quite okay. She has no chair seat. She's not leaning behind the vertical. Her position, so I wrote down correct position. But the rider can follow the movements of the horse better and be more supple. The knees needs to be more down with more quiet legs and the toes more in. So I'm not higher, not to a 7, because it's only her upper body that has a right position, but then she is quite stiff. She's not really following the movements of the horse. The elbows can be more close to the body. The legs really needs to be more quiet and the toes are out. The toes really have to be more in. So that's why I'm not so high with that mark. So I give 6.5 for that position and seat. Then effectiveness of aids. Let's see, most of you have around 6.5 or a bit higher. I also have a 6.5. And my commands are aids of the rider can be smaller, more subtle, and with more independent seat, because she's doing a lot and then almost all her body is moving. So I wrote down with more independent seat, the busy legs are creating tension with the horse. She's doing so much with her legs all the time that the horse is getting more tense and tense because of her legs. So for me, it's also 6.5. Then we go to precision. Let's see what your marks are. Precision. You are between 6.5 and 7. I'm here a bit higher. This is the highest I gave so far, 2 times 6.5. And now I give 6.8. And my commands are the exercises can be better prepared. Same for the transitions. He changed in canter, work on more suppleness and throughness. But the changes of the canter through the walk were quite correct. So correct, simple changes. That's why I have the highest mark for all 4. Here is 6-8. And then we go to general impression. Let's see what you have. So between 6-5 and 7, most of you. I'm also in the middle. So far I had rider's position in seat 6-5, effectiveness of 8-6-5, precision the highest, because she's not making really stupid mistakes. It's just that the horse is so tense and her restless legs. So I gave 6-8 for precision, and then the general impression for me is 6.7. A bit higher than the 6.5, 6.7. Other questions about that? So a really big difference from the rider that we saw before and this. But this is also what we have in general. But it's just that you want supple riders, soft riding, harmonious seats, small aids. That's what we like to see. And if that's correct, you can really go high with those marks. Other questions about this? So it's really a different kind of judging. No questions. Then then we will do the last test of this evening. I would like to go with you to the Prix Saint-Georges test, a small tour test. And this test, the small tour test, the Prix Saint-Georges, is the same as the young riders do in international competition as the team test. So this is always the first test. So at championships or Nations Cups, they have to do the team test, and the team test is totally the same as the Prix Saint-Georges. So we will see a young rider that is doing a young riders team test, but that's the same as the Prix Saint-Georges. I will do 5 exercises, then we stop, and then you'll have time to write down in the protocol your marks, and then we stop about every 5 exercises. Yeah, we will have a lovely test. We will watch really high quality. So let's see what we can do with this rider. So we start with maybe you can tell, is it easy to find? I think so, Elena.
Yeah, I'm happy to guide you through this again.
Yeah.
So please, here in the menu button, please open up the menu. We have today's seminar. You will see here on top the Prix Saint-Georges. You see one rider is in here. Click on it. It says again rider 1, horse 1. Click on it again. Here you will find the score sheet, the Prix Saint-Georges. And here on the right, you will find the video, which I will play now.
Yep, and we start. Exercise number 1. Entering collected canter, transition to halt, the halt itself, and then from X to C is also in the mark. This is exercise 1. Track is in exercise 2, the track to the right, to turn, then the medium trot, transition back to collected trot, and again the collected trot at the short side, KAF. And then you give the mark after short side. The shoulder in left, followed by a volte left, and a half pass, and now we stop the video. Good, now you can give the first 5 marks. Exercise 1 to exercise 5. Good, and we will continue. Exercise 6, that is the extended trot. And then after a separate mark for the transitions, to go into extended trot and going back to collected trot. Shoulder in right. The volte right at E. Then the half pass. And now we stop. Yeah. Good. Now you can fill in exercise 6 till exercise 10. Good. We continue with exercise number 11. So now she did already the transition to walk at G just before the turn at C. We continue with the video. And then you have the half pirouette to the left. And another half pirouette to the right. And then you give a separate mark for the collected walk before and after the walk pirouettes. And in between the walk pirouettes, there you give a separate mark. And now you have on the diagonal the extended walk. That's a bit more difficult to see from this angle, but that's also happening in real life, that you are sitting from the back. And then we stop the video here. Good. Then you can fill in exercise number 11 till exercise 14. Good, and we continue. So she has to do the collected walk. Now she goes from extended walk to collected walk, transition into canter left. And then in the same mark, the last steps of collected walk, transition into canter, collected walk on the short side, and that stays in that same mark. And then after the short side, half pass to the left. And then the flying change at the end of the half pass, and it goes in the same mark as the half pass. So the flying change, yeah, and now you have the second half pass, flying change after, that goes in the same mark as the half pass. So no separate mark for that. Then she goes on the diagonal, and she does a half pirouette to the left. She collects, they have to take weight. So we sit, going out, then the counter canter HC, and a flying change at C. And now we stop the video. So now you can give the marks 15 till 19. And now we continue. Now comes the second pirouette on the diagonal, second half pirouette, sorry, not the whole one. Exercise 20. Then again, the counter canter after and the flying change at C. Exercise 21, this is 20. And the flying change. Then you have every forward stride to flying change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 flying changes every fourth stride. And now flying changes every third stride. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5. Then we get an extended canter, exercise 24. And the transition to a collected canter again and the flying change. And then the last transition to halt. And then we stop after. Halt. And then you finish the last exercises from 20 till 26. And please give also a mark for the general impression. I think you're all done now. So we go back to the test. First, we'll have a look at your marks. The entry and the halt. Let's see what we have. We just first discussed the first 5 exercises, your marks in general. The entry. There it is. 7, 5 to 8. Most of you have 8. I also have 8. Little wide in front, in the halt, in the front leg, but very good transitions. Then we go to the medium trot. 7, 5 to 8. I also have 8 very cadenced, good cadence. Then we go to the shoulder in. Let's see. 7 to 7, 5. I also have 7, 5. So you're doing really well. Then we have the volte, exercise number 4. 7, 5 to 8. The volte left. I have 7, 5. So you're all doing well. And then we have the half pass. 7, 5 to 8. I also have 8 for that half pass. Also very cadenced and fluent. So we will have a look at the first 5 exercises till just after that first half pass in the video. So this is correct. Nice transition, nice uphill. Pole is the highest point. Really good transition into halt. Bit wide in front. Good transitions. Also this transition to trot, the first step is really active and with nice impulsion. Then we go to the right, we see the medium trot. Medium trot has balance, as it's really cadenced, and you can see there's more air time, there's more suspension. So you can even see from the back that there is really bigger steps. It's not getting quicker. Good also balance and cadence on the short side. Then we have the shoulder in. Contact can maybe a bit more steady, but he's nice uphill. 7.5 for the shoulder in. The vault, the second part is a bit more stiff, maybe a bit more supple, so slightly stiffening. So I still have 7.5 for the vault and a super half pass with good cadence and really fluent 8. And then we stop the video. 8 for the half pass. We stop the video. Then we can have a look at the marks. We go to the mark 6 till 10. So first is the extended trot, exercise 6. Extended trot, most of you have 7 or 7.5. I also had 7.5. I wrote down more difference with medium trot because she had an 8 for the medium trot. There was not enough difference and more overtracking. And the transitions, let's see the exercise 7, what you have. Seven to 7.5. I have 7 for the transitions. I would like to see a more clear transition at F. So at the end of the extended trot. You will see it later on. Then the shoulder in right, exercise 8. Most of you have 8. I also have 8, and my remark is nice cadence and nice uphill. If you go to the vaulter, exercise 9. 7.5 to 8. I also have 8, and I have 7.5, not higher. I didn't went to 8 because the vaulter needs to be 8 meters, and for me the vaulter is a little large. So that's why I didn't give an 8, but still 7.5. And then the half pass. Let's see for the marks. Exercise number 10. 7.5. Most of you to 8. I also have an 8. So now we go back to the video, exercise 6 to 10, and we can have a look through. First, the extended trot. I want to see a bit more difference with medium trot and a bit more overtracking. Then here I want to see more collection at F. Yeah, the transition could be more clear. Still a 7. Shoulder in. Nice bending. Nice cadence. Nice balance. Nice on 3 tracks. So an 8 for the shoulder in. For the right, that's for me a little large. So not a 8, but 7.5. And then the half pass. Again, nice cadence. Good bending. 8 for the half pass. And then we stop the video. Good. And then we look at your marks for the walk and the walk pirouettes and the collected walk before and after and in between. Exercise 11. Let's see. Most of you have 7. Some of you have 7.5 or 8. For me, that's a bit high. For me, the walk in the walk pirouette can a bit more supple, also stiffening a bit, and also the rhythm can be a bit more clear, even more clear. But still, I gave 6.5. But for a higher mark, the walk rhythm should be more clear and a bit more supple over the back. Then let's see for the second half pirouette to the right. 6.5 to 7. Most of you have 7. I have 6.5. Again, more clear in the walk, more clear walk rhythm, and a bit more fluent. And then we go to the collected walk, the quality of the collected walk. Exercise 13. Most of you have 7. I also have 7. In between, the walk rhythm is clear. I would like to see the horse more supple over the back in the collected walk for a higher mark than 7. So for me, this is 7. Then we go to extended walk. not so easy to see because we judge it from behind. Most of you gave 7, some of you 7.5 and 6.5. I am a bit lower, I have 6.5, and some of you have 7.5 or 8. That for me is a bit high. So we will look at the video because you want to see a bit more ground cover, but if you look at the contact of the horse, then you can see that he's not stretching to the bit, even if you are sitting from behind. So we first do the walk pirouettes, let's see. Look at the walk rhythm in the pirouettes. It's going to be a bit more supple in the pirouettes. But the pirouettes are well prepared. Now he's losing a bit of the rhythm, can be a bit more supple over the back. So that's why 6.5 and even more clear. Same again to the right, look at the walk rhythm. He's losing the walk rhythm a bit. That's why it's not a 7, but a 6.5. Be a bit more fluent. And the collected walk is clear itself, clearer than in the pirouettes, but it can be a bit more supple over the back, so a 7. Then we go to the extended walk. You can have more ground cover, look at the footprints, but look at the mouth and the bit. Look, he's not really stretching, he stays quite high, even now. So I want the horse to be more stretching to the bit for a higher mark. You can see he always stays a bit high. He really has to stretch to the bit, We will stop the video. He really has to stretch to the bit and follow the hand of the rider. So that's why I only give 6.5 for this extended walk. Now we go to 15 till 19. Let's see your marks for the transition into canter. Most of you gave 7.5. I also gave 7.5. Correct transition could have a bit more impulse in the first 2 canter strides. Then the half pass, number 16, and the flying change, both in the same mark. That's exercise 16. So 7, 7, 5, 8. So you really are agreeing. I give an 8. It's a nice half pass with a nice flow. Then we go to the second half pass. It's immediately after with the flying change in. It's number 17. Seven, 7, 5, 8. I also have an 8 for it's really half pass with a good cadence. Then we go to number 18. That's a 7 for the counter, or for the canter pirouette. Most of you have 7, some 6.5 or 7.5. I have 7.5 because it's nice small. It's difficult to make a small canter pirouette, but she can have a bit more jump going out of the pirouette. And then the counter canter and the flying change. There's a good question coming. We will see it later. Counter canter and flying change. Let's see the marks. 7.5 to 8 to 7. I have 7.5. Flying change is a little late, so that's why I didn't give 8. There's a question from Sophie. Do we see the V in the walk? No, we see the Z. We see the V in the walk, in the collected walk in between the pirouettes. The V is a bit lost in the walk pirouettes itself, and that's why we went a bit lower with the walk pirouettes compared to the collected walk. And lots of rhythm in the canter pirouettes. That's asked for Utti Laksona at Finland. Good question. It's allowed to lose a bit of the rhythm, that you slow down a bit in the canter pirouette. Otherwise, it's almost too difficult to really collect and let the horse take weight behind. So it's allowed to slow down a bit. And loss of rhythm is not the good word, but they slow down the tempo a bit. So that's allowed. So now we go back to 15 to 19 with the video. So first the collected walk and the preceding canter. Can have a bit more impulse in the first canter strides. Then we have the half pass and the flying change. Good bending, pull nice uphill, flying change uphill, immediately the bending to the right. It's a difficult transition, again straight, and the flying change. Totally correct at the marker, good cadence, so again an 8. Now we want that the pirouette is really collected around 2 to 3 strides before the pirouette, then he slows down, he has to take weight, it's really small, but he's losing the jump a bit at the end of the pirouette, so that's why it's not the 7-5. Here now is the flying change a bit late, just a bit after, and we can stop the video, a bit after C, so that's why. But still a high mark for that first pirouette because it's really small. And then if you make it bigger, you avoid the degree of difficulty of the pirouette a bit. You want them to take weight behind and you don't want to make it really big. That's not what we like to see. Then we look at your marks, 20, the second pirouette to the right, exercise 20, 7-5 to 7. I also have a 7. This one was quite big, needs to be smaller, but the horse was quite sitting, it was correct, but for a higher mark than 7, it needs to be smaller. Then we can see 21, the counter canter and the flying change. Let's see. Oh, here we have a big difference from 3 to 8-5. So we don't agree on this one. So we really have to pay attention for this one. We will have a look. But I have a 5 because the change is what's shorter behind, not shorter behind, but the hind legs are together. So then you cannot give a high mark for that counter canter. It's not only the flying change, also the counter canter. Otherwise, maybe you could have given a 4 when it was only a flying change, but you have to combine the counter canter and the flying change. But hind legs are together. So that's why I give a 5. We will look after at the video, because if you are high on this one, then you missed the hind legs together in the flying change. Then we go to the 5 flying changes every 4th stride. 7, 7, 5 to 8. I have 7-5 on that one. The changes are nice uphill, but the horse can be more straight. And then we go to the second, the 3 tempi changes, 5 tempi changes every 3rd stride. Exercise 23. Let's have a look on that. 7-5 to 8. I have even an 8-5 because it's really straight and nice uphill. So 8 is correct. You can go higher. 7 is too low. Or because it's really, you can see that it's really straight. It's really fluent uphill without mistakes. So then the 7 is really quite low. If you do it without mistakes, you can easily give a 7. When it's then straight, you can go higher. The extended canter. 7, 7, 5 to 8, I gave a 7-5. Then we go to the flying change, 25, exercise 25. 7, 7, 5 to 8, I give an 8. It was really correct change of the ground and quite straight, and a nice transition into collected canter. And then the last halt. 7, 5 to 8. I also gave an 8, good balance in the halt. And let's see the last mark for general impression. General impression 7, 7, 5, and 8. I also have an 8. My comment was lovely test with nice cadence, good riding, harmonious test, pity of 1 short change, good collection throughout the test. The walk in the pirouette can even be more clear for higher marks. Let's see, there are two questions. Sorry, is the quarters leading in the left counter half pass? No, it's not. And the first pirouette, he did lose the tempo nearly into trot. He lost, we also said, more jump. It was so small that it's more difficult to keep jump, but we will go to the second pirouette. But in the first pirouette, maybe we can go back. Can we go back to the first pirouette, Lena? But I also wrote down in the first pirouette, nice small, but keep jump going out. But he doesn't fall into trot. That's a too heavy command. So look at this. She's losing the jump, but it's really small. He's taking weight, he's sitting. And now he was losing the jump. It's not going into trot, not at all, not at all. It was just a loss of balance and a loss of jump. Now we go to this one, second pirouette, 20. He's taking weight, the horse. It's a fluent pirouette, but quite big. You see, when she goes back to the diagonal, I gave a 7 because it can be smaller. Now look at the flying change. You see? We do it again, because here we had a big difference. If you look carefully, you can see that the hind legs are jumping together in the flying change. There, and then he's fluent again. So that's why, if it's just, can you stop it a bit? If it's just a flying change, you have to give a 4 for this flying change, but because the counter canter is also in, that's why we have a 5 and not a 4. And then we continue after. Look at it. Both hind legs together. Then we have the series. Nice uphill. Can be a bit more straight. You can see the shoulders are a bit not totally in front of the hind legs, but then suddenly it's much better in the 3 tempi changes. It's going coming towards us. Then you can see this is really straight. This is really nice on small travel, tour level. Bit the hind legs up, but this is really straight. We are sitting here. All the flying changes are nice uphill. All the strides are the same size. It's really nice. Extended canter. Nice hind leg. It's quite controlled. She doesn't take all risk. Good. A nice flying change. And the flying change. Now, a nice flying change. I will explain later more. And then the halt. Good transition. And nice square hold. So 8 for the halt. Good balance in the halt. And it's good to say that the change was really correct. At the end of the diagonal, you really want first from the extended canter transition back to collected canter. Some riders are avoiding it, and then in an ideal situation, you want the flying change at the end of the diagonal, not when they are touching the marker or already in the corner. So this was really a high-level small tour test, especially for young riders. And this was 2 years ago, the European champion for the young riders. So a really nice test. And I will have a look if there are still questions. Isabel's asked a question. That would also be a 4. When it's laid behind, it's also a 4. When you give 4 legs together, yeah, when you want that the flying changes in one canter stride, that's also from Isabella. If you can't see something, that's a good question from Rachel or Rachel. If you can't see something because of your position, do you assume it is there or not there? No, you cannot assume anything. You really have to be sure. So, for example, we saw that extended walk. Then from behind, it often happens. It often happens. Then you cannot see if he is really covering ground. It's difficult to see from behind. But we saw from our position even that the horse was not really stretching to the bit, not really following the hands. So if you can see it, then you have to take it into account. A good example, for example, is Sometimes you are sitting somewhere and the tongue is out to the left. Then you see half passes going to the other direction and you are sitting at the right. So you assume that the tongue is out to the left, but you sit on the other side, you cannot see it. Otherwise you give a low mark. You cannot give a low mark because you really have to judge what you see, and you cannot assume if something is there. Of course, you can assume tension, but not if you don't see it. Maybe you think it's there, but really give marks from the position where you are. Is it not a little bit too short halt on the end? The halt has to be 3 seconds. Let's see, maybe we can go back a bit, Lena, and maybe at the same time you can look at the score, Lena, but let's see the last halt. Yeah, and then we count. Oh. Yeah. Quite correct. Quite correct, and the horse was tense. And don't forget, this was a European Championships. You cannot see it from here. I was judging there. There was the European Championships for the young riders. There are so many spectators watching and clapping. So then sometimes you have a short halt, but this was quite correct. And it's not so easy if there's so much applause, but this was quite correct. There is a question from Emma. How do you form a grade with the situation with the counter that was good and the bad flying change? Now, it's not really divided. You have to see it has more weight. You're totally right. If the mistake is too serious, it has more weight. You cannot just divide. So you have to take the whole exercise into account, the same as we had with the half passes and the flying change. So you cannot you cannot divide it and make the average. That's not allowed. You just have to look to the whole exercise. Are there more questions? We are 15 minutes too late, but we did a lot of tests today. Thank you very much for your participation. And what I like is that the scores of all of you are getting closer and closer. That's really nice. You have to be really improve a good eye for the flying changes, because many of you missed that short behind in that flying change. And you really have to stay critical in the rhythm of the walk. Those things you have to train your eye for, but you are doing much better already compared to a few weeks ago. So that's really improving. I'm really happy with that, really. We will close the evening. The next session will be on June 4th, the 4th of June. Then will be the next session. That will be the last online session. The plan is to do 2 tests like we did today and then evaluate. And then we will ask you at the end of the evening to judge several tests. You don't have to write down the remarks, only the marks. And then via those tests, we will do an assessment. And then we will decide which participants can really come to a real life seminar. So there will be a course during one of the shows after summer. We will let you know when the decision is made. And then after the assessment, we will invite the good ones of you to that real seminar, and then you will have an exam. We have some days where we can discuss and you can learn a lot, and then you have on that show a real life exam to finish this whole course. But first we will finish the online sessions on June 4th. Are there any questions? No questions? Thank you very much. You did really well. You are improving. You're doing well. Great job. School your eye. You can find so many good tests on Clip My Horse. Most of the big shows you can also find the scores of the judges, so you can also practice yourself with Clip My Horse and other live streams with the comparison of the real judges. So thank you so much. Thomas is still asking, what was the score? Can you have a look, Lena, at the last one? Also very high. Also,
Yeah, for sure. It was 74,559.
yeah, 74,559. And with that score, she was the European champion in the team test for the young riders. Thank you so much, and keep on practicing your eye, improving your eye, help yourself. There are so many possibilities online. Thank you so very much. We really had a nice session this evening, and see you all on June 4th. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening. Ciao.
Bye.